Hey guys, before I start the video, I just wanted to clarify a few things. If you're on the Xbox One platform and you need help, I do apologize if I'm not able to help you off stream or on stream. The reason if I turn you down it is because I have to do technical late game things and Warframe like Eidolons and Kuva farming in order to make platinum to keep things on the store for my reward system. So please don't be upset if I'm unable to play with you. It's nothing against you. It's just stuff that I have to do to make sure that I keep serving you guys as Twitch followers and YouTube subscribers. So please remember to drop a follow on my Twitch channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember to turn on the notifications. If you want more consistent communication with me, just follow the Discord, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Xbox, even though I'm not entirely sure how that works yet. Follow me on Twitch. And if you're curious as to how my giveaways work, just remember you could go straight to my Twitch channel, check out the commands list, and descriptions will be all over the place for you for whatever you want to learn. So thank you guys so much for listening, and on to the video. Hello everyone, Wolfrunner25 here, back with another Warframe video, and today we're going to discuss Mesa. She's a great gunslinger, and if you have the correct mod set up and you have a correct arcane, she is a force to be reckoned with on all planes of existence, especially the Orvalis and the Plains of Eidolon. If you want the best frame for Orvalis and Plains of Eidolon, I highly suggest Mesa. And the reason for that is because she's pretty much a name bot. So first thing you'll notice is Pistol Lamp. And if you're wondering how you get Pistol Lamp, you get it from doing the Silver Grove, if you haven't done that quest yet. This isn't an absolute must. You can get this off the market for 10 platinum. It's really easy to get because that kind of damage increase isn't that significant. But as far as the build goes, I've chosen Fleeting Expertise, Narrow-Minded, Umbral Intensify, and Vitality, Prime Continuity, Augur Message, Transient Fortitude, and Prime Flow. Now, I only have one 4-man to her, and there are some people out there who prefer to use the Mesa's Waltz Augment, which allows you to walk while you're in your Gunslinger mode or your Peacemaker's mode. I personally don't find it to be that useful for the simple fact of you can just disable the ability, then re-enable it again, move to a different location, and I'm pretty fast with Mesa. Like, it's not an issue for me to be mobile with her while she's in her 4. You just disable it, re-enable it, is fast. And with 160% efficiency, it's not going to take up that much energy. Now, this is something a lot of people usually don't do, which is Eidolons. Because when you're doing Eidolons, you get Arcanes. In order to have Mesa's damage output to be absolutely maxed, you're going to need this Arcane Velocity. And what Arcane Velocity does, on critical hit, 60% chance for 80% fire rate to pistols for 6 seconds. So that affects her Peacemakers. So when she gets the crit, she fires even faster and faster and faster. And the longer she stays in Peacemaker, she'll deal more damage as well. So as far as the Peacemaker build goes, whatever enemy type that you're fighting, that's what I suggest trying to build for. So if you're fighting armored enemies, go for corrosive. If you're fighting corpus, go for gas. Go for whatever type that you feel is most effective for that particular enemy type. I mean, nullifiers, you can't shoot nullifiers when you're in her 4th. So just kind of experiment around with this. I've run a lot of different experiments in the Simulacrum for her regulators, and I've always found this to be the absolute best, to like be the largest damage output. So Anemic Agility, you get that from doing vault runs where you get the corrupted monster frames and everything. Lethal Torrent, that comes from a Nightmare mission on the star map, so just maybe do Nightmare missions if you don't have it yet. You can also get the market for like 10-15 plat. Prime Pistol Gambit, you're really honestly going to want that. Most people like don't collect a lot of Prime mods. I usually tend to because most people need this for their Mesa setup. I highly suggest trying to max it out. As far as the other mods go, Pistol Pestilence, you get that from fighting Vor in the Void. Jolt, that occasionally comes around when Barrow does. You can also do spy missions to get it, but it's a really low drop rate. So pick this up at the market. I think currently it's about 40, 50, 60 plat maybe. I know I keep mentioning stuff to buy, but if you don't have these particular mods, then it may be a little hard to get the maximum DPS output depending on what kind of runs you do. I use Mesa for Index. That's primarily what I use her for, is just Index, and for the Plains of Eidolon and Orvalis, because, like I said, she's a name bot. So, one other thing I wanted to discuss was the second Arcane. I always run Arcane Guardian, because it allows just for a little bit more extra survivability. If you're not too concerned with duration and maybe you wanted more range and you wanted more survivability, maybe you could go for adaptation, but then you're going to have to be keeping an eye more on your shooting gallery and your shatter shield. The shooting gallery gives an ally extra damage while jamming the guns of nearby enemies. This power shifts between team members. So the radius will be increased based on your power range, but at the same time, I prefer to have low range for the simple fact of it'll be more energy efficient, and enemies are more likely going to die pretty quickly if you're using Mesa. So you really don't need much range, but that's entirely up to you if you choose to run that way or not, if you want more survivability. But like I said, I really don't take her on endurance runs. You know, if you're going on an endurance run, you're more than likely to take Saren or Banshee or Octavia or something like that. But quick note for a passive: shoot dual-wielded sidearms 15% faster and reload single-handed sidearms 25% more rapidly. Gain 50 bonus health when not using melee weapons, which I usually tend... 50 health might not seem like that much, but sometimes it can actually make a difference on whether you die or not, especially if you're doing an index run. So you noted the high power strength, the damage multiplier is 3.08, energy per second is 3.75 because of the efficiency. The field of view, there's no way to change that. The initial drain, that's because of the efficiency. The shatter shield, I think you have to have it's like 150 or 175 power strength in order to gain the maximum 95% damage reduction. Bullet damage, the radius, I don't know why there's a radius on it. Maybe there's of like what that damage tends to bounce back on. I don't really know, but like I said, I don't find range to be very useful on her, so I went for good duration, good strength. Like I said, you're really going to want velocity. It's not a hard arcane to get. You can actually just do the Terror List. If you're not ready to do the Gauntlet List or the Hydra List, you can always just farm the Terror List for it, because he's the one who drops it. So, enough battling. I'm going to spawn the highest level enemy possible that I can currently do. Before I do that, though, I want to explain something. It's because this build can be kind of power hungry, you're going to want to be running Zeneric. The reason for Zeneric, energy pickups grant 50% additional energy over 5 seconds, so that helps in the index, because she's just a DPS monster for the index. You'll be doing the killing. You won't be doing the point picking upping. You'll just be doing the killing. And the energizing dash, Void Dash creates a zone of energy for 8 seconds. Allies passing through the zone gain 5 energy per second for 30 seconds. So that's another great way to keep your energy up. So, I don't think there's anything else to explain. Let me check. So my Kavat might proc something while we're in here, but this was my build for my Smita Kavat. If anybody wanted to copy and paste that, definitely get these tech mods. They're extremely useful. They help keep your Kavat alive for much longer. I don't think that there's too much else to explain. As you can see, I'm running Amprex and Mardatron. I'll show those real quick, but after that, then I'll get to killing enemies on the Simulacrum. You just want high crit chance and crit damage because it's a crit weapon. A Mardatron, it has a ribbon on it, so it does a crap ton of corrosive. But I'll show you the power of Mesa, the great aimbot. So here we go. So the Corrupted Heavy Gunners, they are the highest armored enemy in the game, until at least they do that rework anyway. Well, 165. I'll probably... No, I'm actually going to keep my invincibility off, because the Shatter Shield will help keep her alive. So we're just going to do one real quick. And it's gone.
Wow, what do you say after that one? Brutal, savage, wrecked. Absolutely taken down.
She is... like, in that... Oh, wait a minute. Was my Kavat proc that? It didn't look like... Hang on, let me try that again. It looked like my Kavat proc the crit chance buff. Hang on 1 second. Nope. Okay, so I think that was the resource buff that it procced earlier. But with Arcane Velocity, man, so that was with Arcane Velocity. Let me show you without Arcane Velocity. I'm only doing this just to prove a point of why you it's an absolute must. Like, you want that Arcane on Mesa. Jeez. I gotta wait for this crit chance buff to go away. First, my Kavat's gonna try and go up there. Come here. That's weird. That almost felt like it was the same amount of time. Can we do that again? Okay, that's really weird. Is velocity not ideal for her anymore? That actually felt longer. I can't tell if that's longer or not. 1, 2, 3. It's about 3.5 seconds with velocity. 1, 2, 3. Dude, what the fuck?
What?
That's almost the exact same time.
Thing sucks!
I mean, my timing's not like highly precise, but that almost feels like it's the exact same. Okay, maybe I'm full of shit, guys.
90% of the time, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
Maybe you don't need arcane velocity with it. It feels like the damage gets heavier a lot quicker. Maybe it's all just based off crit chance. Oh shit, stop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, that was... It's about a half-second difference. I don't know, man. I've just always run with velocity because I've always thought it was pretty ideal for her peacemakers, but there's not too much complexity to the Mesa. I mean, if it's Mesa or Mesa Prime, whichever you have, like I said, this is the build that I always go for. If you weren't really caring too much about efficiency and you wanted more strength, maybe you could take off Augur Message and replace it with Blind Rage, or take off Continuity and replace it for a Blind Rage. I don't know, but this is what I've been running with for like the longest time. My voice cracks. The only other thing I know to do to show you guys is some footage of her soloing stuff on the Plains of Eidolon or Orbalis. So I'm actually going to go to the Orbalis real quick, do some stuff solo, and show you just how much easier it is when you have a Mesa or Mesa Prime going solo with this build. I'm going to run Rubico to shoot down the drop ships, so if you want my Rubico build, here it is. Alright, so I'm only going to do a tier 2 bounty for the sole purpose of being able to one-shot the ships. You can do like a tier 5 or tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, but I just wanted like to use this as an example to show you, because she's an aimbot, you can just, I'll show you my mobility primarily. So I'm going to do this Falling Star bounty real quick.
Get moving. We're straight to camp station. Family expecting protocol and upload. Busy day, so let's get moving. Nearby coil drivers operating on the same encryption scheme as the shuttle. Hit it with an EMP mine and let's see what it can tell us. Sit tight and get ready to move. Once the trap goes off, the taxmen are going to respond. I have it on sensors. Once it hits the trap, get down there. Perfect! Coil drive to safety.
Alright, so the reason I suggest the Rubico is for this. 2-shot the ships, you don't have to worry about reinforcements. Makes things a lot easier. Actually, I'm one-shotting it with that. With the damage buff, is probably why I'm one-shotting some of these ships. Of course, they're all level 10, so. Stitch, man, she's an aimbot, so you don't have to worry too hard about properly aiming except for the ships. Shit.
Keep that coil drive one piece for a little longer. auto-teleport to a destination of our choosing, where one of our people is waiting to pick them up. If one attacks me, shoot them off the drone till I'm finished. Chase him if you want, Sparky. Resting with the drone perfectly intact.
15 thermal sludge, okay.
Access to the entirety of its data map.
Alright guys, well you saw from the footage of how easily that was done with Mesa, with her peacemakers just kind of hopping around and frantically using her fourth ability, going in and out of it. Going inside the complex for the final bounty stage wasn't that hard, wasn't that particularly complex or intricate or anything like that, but you got the build, you saw the gameplay. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comments section below, guys. And as always, remember, strive proudly and howl loudly. Good night, guys.